All right, mamas and everyone out there, welcome to our special Mother's Day Pilates Brevard workout. Today's workout is focused and sort of designed for moms in that these movements we'll do today are the fundamentals of stabilizing your core, finding your core and then stabilizing it. So for the moms, I know, and being a mom myself, it's often the case where we're pulled in every which direction, and it's often not our own. So I have found with introducing some core finding and stabilizing exercises in a physical practice, it sort of manifests in everyday life as being a little bit more centered in the chaos that's going on in our households, you know? So this is my Mother's Day gift to all of you, to have a little centeredness in your life. And it is a gift of love, and one that I've learned through challenges myself, right? Being a mom. The other side of this, though, is that this workout is good for everybody and anybody, to be honest. You know, I'll market it as a Mom's Day workout, but if you can find your core using these exercises, you can then utilize your core and all the other things you do, whether it's yoga, riding your bike, running. And when you use your core first and then work out after that, you increase the benefits and the results and all sorts of good things that I could go on and on about. So just know that this workout is for everybody, but it is truly based for the moms out there that need it. So we're going to start our workout today in the chair because we have to find our center first. So have a seat on whatever chair you have, whether it's the side of your bed, side of an ottoman. And a heads up for you, those of you at home, this is a very unrehearsed workout, and there will probably be kids often getting involved. Now, for you moms doing the workout now, if a kid gets involved, what your goal is to do as best you can is to hold your center, which once we find it might be a little easier, okay? So again, heads up, we're just gonna kind of wing this and see how we do. Okay, so sitting in your chair, scoot to the front edge of your chair and let yourself just slouch. Okay, and then start by pressing what's called your sits bones down into the seat. It's kind of the base of your pelvis, these little bones down here. You might have to move the meat to find them, but you're going to root those sits bones down as your spine grows up to the ceiling. And then let all that go. Let yourself slouch. Again, root down, so you're kind of grounding your sits bones as your head lengthens up towards the ceiling. And then let your spine go, let it slouch. Good, one more time, root those sits bones down and let your head sort of gently raise up towards the sky. Now sitting up tall, imagine wearing a crown on the top of your head and the entire crown is magnetized to the ceiling. So there's like this vertical strength going up your body. And then let all that go, let it slouch, right? So you root down in your sits bones. So the crown of the head, the whole circle of the crown, magnetizes to the ceiling. And know that I'm watching you so you can look straight ahead and not worry about a thing. And then let all that go. And one more time, root down to grow up. Right? There's this gorgeous book called Take Root to Fly. Right? You root down so you can go up. Now hold that length in your spine, everyone. So sits bones are rooting down, crown of the head is going to the ceiling. Just take a deep breath. And then as you exhale, stay lengthened, but let your shoulders release, right? So your center is there, but the shoulders are not holding tension for you. They don't hold your spine up, to be honest. They just crank up next to your ears and cause tension. Take another inhale. As you exhale, keep those sits bones rooted, crown of the head growing to the ceiling, and the shoulders just release. So let any tension in your arms, Brittany, just go. Good. And one more breath, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let your shoulders release. Gabby, see if you can release any tension in your jaw as your throat just sort of lengthens, the same length as the back of your neck. And then ladies, go ahead and let all that go. Good. So now moving into something else before we put it all together, into our breath. So you can sit same position or face me, and you're going to place your hands on your ribs. Okay? So these ribs, bones, you might forget this, but they're actually attached to your spine in the back. So I want you to start to inhale with the goal of filling up your hands, filling up your ribs and lengthening the back of the spine. And then as you exhale, feel the rib bones sort of collapse. Okay? And you'll do that on your own time. Go ahead and inhale. And Gabby, if you can move your hands to the sides of your ribs. Usually we're very good at breathing in the front of our ribs. And for Pilates purposes, we're going to start to breathe into the sides of our ribs. And you might never even think about that. Breathing into the side body, you know, like I usually either just breathe very shallowly or into my belly when coached by a yoga teacher. But we're going to go lateral with our breath into the sides of the ribs. And you'll see, those of you who are on live class today, what part of your body moves when you inhale, you know? Usually the front of the chest opens. Good. And then go ahead and let yourself exhale. Keep your hands there and root your sits bones down, crown of the head to the ceiling. And now do an inhale into the sides. As you exhale, keep holding that line between your sits bones and the crown of the head, right? And do just 2 more. Inhaling right into the sides of the ribs. See if there's any movement there. There might not be. Air might have never made it to that sides of the lungs before, you know? One more time, but you're trying to invite some breath into the space in your body, which often gets ignored. Okay? And then on your next exhale, just let everything go. The ribs kind of collapse, the shoulders relax, the body slouches, right? Now hands go on the belly, right? Yoga style. Take a big inhale into your belly. Expand it as much as you can. Think like jolly old Saint Nick belly, you know, expand. And then exhale, let the belly fall. Big inhale, expand the belly. And then exhale, let the belly fall. Good. And do one more time, expanding the belly. Now notice what parts of the spine want to move as the belly expands, right? And I bring that up because you might all feel different things, but just start to become aware of what moves in your body when you breathe, right? Now, sits bones into your chair, crown of the head to the ceiling. Try to find length, that center line that holds you steady. And now inhale into your belly. As you exhale, feel your belly fall, but keep the length in your spine. Good. So the back of the neck, Rhea, should be as long as the front of the throat. With your breath, notice if the shoulders want to tense. See if you can let that go and hold the line of strength from the sits bones to the crown of the head. And one final time, breathing into your belly. And then exhaling, deepening the belly, going vertical. And then let everything go here. There. So just a little breath work. So this workout is all going to be put together today, but you can take bits and pieces throughout your day and use it. Take a moment when you're standing, washing dishes, find your vertical line and just take a deep breath into the sides and into your belly. Okay? Just practicing it. Now we're going to move on to the mat. So ladies, if you can move your chairs. And as you move, bring yourself down to the mat. And a thing I completely forgot to do is thank all of you for joining me today. So for those of you at home, these are some of my close Brevard Pisgah Forest friends that I get to hang out with when we're allowed to hang out. And they so graciously volunteered to join in today. So thank you all very much. I get excited about teaching and I kind of forget to do things sometimes. So know that I'm very grateful for you being here. So, okay, ladies, so setting up on your mat, you're actually gonna lie down on your mats. So you found your vertical line, which is easiest to find when you're sitting because gravity is working against you. Now we're going to find the second center, which is what people mostly call their abs, right? We're going to find our center on the floor. Now, legs will be straight out. So go ahead and straighten those legs, Gabby and Rachel, if you have room for it, okay? The legs are going to gently kind of zip up towards each other, right? Hug them together in a sense, right? And from here, you're going to press the backs of your heels into the floor. And you're going to reach those arms to the ceiling. This exercise is called the head floats. Now, what's lifting you is not your neck muscles, but your core muscles. And how this works is you deepen the heel press into the floor. Deepen that sense of sits bones to crown of head, lengthening the spine. And then float your head and shoulders just up off the floor by engaging your abs. Right? Now, what will often happen is the head will want to fling, but our goal is to find our center.
So engage those abdominals. As you exhale, press the arms long by your side. And widen your collarbones, lengthening the crown of the head away from the heels. Lower your head and shoulders down, release completely. Now, right away, doing that exercise, if you felt your low back change shape or tuck, please place a towel, your dish towel. Now, I told my moms in the video to grab a dish towel for this workout. If at this point you realize you need one, just pause the workout, grab a towel, and place it underneath your low back. This is not a training wheel. It's just to give you feedback to your spine. If you're tucking your pelvis, you're not grounding and stabilizing your core. You're just moving your spine, okay? So towel can go underneath the low back. Reach those arms to the ceiling again. Gently press your heels down into the floor and float your arms to the ceiling. As you exhale, deepen your abdominals and just float, leading with your heart. A good way to live life in general, right? Lead with your heart, not with your head. This looks gorgeous, by the way. Everyone's bodies in the videos looks amazing. Now from there, stack your hands, bring them behind your head, the biggest part of your skull. And your hands act as a hammock for the weight of your head. So gently press your head back to open and release the throat from tension. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in, ladies. As you exhale, ground your heels and float your head and heart just an inch higher off the floor without crushing your low back. Now, if anyone jumped in on this workout right now and just looked at it, they wouldn't think you were doing anything. But I know you're doing something because I've done this and you should be feeling it, right? Take a big inhale. As you exhale, deepen the abs, float your shoulders higher. Good. Lifting, but using your core to do so. Now you either keep the hands here, or if you're feeling strong through your center, press the arms down by your side while you stay lifted. Good. Lengthening the front of the throat as much as the back of the throat, and then float the right arm behind you while keeping your head and heart lifted. Good. And then bring the arm back down by your side. Now you can keep it straight to challenge yourself a little more, right? Float the left arm behind you. Try to keep it straight and just notice how that straight arm behind you challenges your core. Left arm comes down by your side, so both arms down by your side. One more time, straight right arm behind you. If you need to support your head at this point, please do. Float that right arm down by your side, or it's supporting your head. And then the left straight arm floats behind you. Good. And then hold there, try to float the other arm as well, so both arms are behind you. You got it, Rachel. Both arms challenge for 3. Hold there, ground your heels, deepen your abs 2. Good modification, Gabby, 1. And then lower everything down and release. Beautiful work. Go ahead and bend those knees so the feet are flat on the floor. Good. Press your head gently back into the mat. Good. And then with the help of your arms, use them to help you sit up. All the way up. So go ahead and sit with the knees bent. I'll give you a demonstration here so you have an idea of how to set up. Your knees are just going to be bent. And this is where right away, if you're sitting like this and your hip muscles start to grip or feel tight, it means they're going to try and do all the work for you. So I suggest sitting back in your chair. Okay? But we're going to sit here with our knees bent otherwise. Let yourself slouch. And then root your sits bones down, crown of the head to the ceiling. And then shrink wrap, panini press all the muscles around your spine to keep you stable. And we start to hinge back. So spines, head in line, pelvis back. And then exhale, hinge your pelvis and spine forward. Okay? And we go again. Start to hinge back. Good. Now I want you to hold right there. And Rachel, see if you can just lift out of your low back another couple of inches, not letting gravity collapse you, right? And Brittany, think of opening your heart, lengthening the front of your throat, and then exhale, hinge forward, right? So that crown of the head is sort of painting a stripe from the ceiling back. So hinge back again. Now, once you feel like you're about to collapse or tip or tuck, hold there and lift vertically out of that spine. So you're still hinging back. You're on a diagonal though. Now reach the arms out in front of you. And here's where we start to recreate life a little bit. Can you hold your center as that right arm floats out to the side? This is where your kids will want to clothesline your arm, if they do, hold on to your core and pull the arm back to center with grace, of course, right? Now the left arm floats out to the side. Can you hold your center? And right there, Gabby, feel like you're opening your heart and the spine behind the heart, that spine area lengthens. Yeah, better. And then hug that arm back to center. Hold there, reopen the throat. One more time, the right arm goes out to the side. See if you can lift up out of that low back. Taking a break if you need. Hug that arm in like you're doing a chest fly at the gym. Hug in. And then the left arm floats out to the side. Can you hold your center? Beautiful. Right there, Rachel, lift your heart as well. Grow. Reach both arms back in front of you. And then ladies, sit up nice and tall. Release. You can straighten the legs, wiggle them out a little bit. And you'll feel right away which muscles want to come help. The core might get lost and the gripping of the hips takes over, or the neck gets tight. All these areas of our body try to control the stress that's going on. Whereas once you start to practice this, guess where you hold it? Here. And then you can move all over the place and chaos can happen. It doesn't matter because you're so centered, right? To break the hips, if they did get tight, I want you just to push the hips up for a moment. Kind of like you're table topping. It'll look kind of like this. Nice, opening your heart, take a deep breath in, and then lower back down, and we'll do a second round of that, this time adding some breath to help, okay? So reach the arms out in front of you or grab behind your thighs. Root your sits bones down, and the crown of the head, the whole circle, magnetizes up. And we start to hinge back, exhaling. Deepening the abs in the exhale. Rachel, you look awesome. Keep that lift. Right there, Gabby, open your heart. You all look really good. Now place the hands on the floor next to your hips and just add a little push so you actually feel how tall you truly are. Good. Engage your abs and then take your training wheels away. Good. Now this time, inhale into the sides of the ribs as your right arm goes out to the side. Exhale, hug the arm in like you're doing a straight arm chest fly. Inhale as the left arm goes out to the side, inhaling into the sides of your ribs. Exhale, hug the arm in. Remember how tall you truly are. One more time each side. Inhale, right arm goes out to the side. Lengthen, Brittany, vertical spine. Exhale on a diagonal as you pull that arm back in. And one more time, that left arm opening from a chest fly. Add resistance. Can you hold your center as that arm challenges? For extra strength, float both arms above your head, line with your ears, holding it. You might be swearing at me now, but guess what? You're muted. And then exhale, float the arms down, hinge forward, lift, and release completely. And you're a mom, so there's kids in the room, so watch your language. All right, ladies, go ahead and lie yourselves back down. Just give me a thumbs up. You doing okay? If you're doing okay, give me a thumbs up, right? Yeah. Okay, so we just challenged our center a little bit with the weight of the arms. Now our arms, as far as appendages go, are lighter than are the legs. Okay, so holding our center while the legs move can be a little more challenging. But let's give it a go. Arms long by your side. Bend your knees so your feet are flat. And Rachel, you can bring your feet a little narrower. Rhea, probably a little bit wider. Brittany, you look good. Gabby's looking good. Okay. So arms close to the body, gently press your hands down into the floor. And tuck your pelvis under once. So if you have that towel under your low back, you're kind of flattening into it. If you don't have the towel, it's okay. Just try to tuck your back completely flat. This is you being thrown off center, by the way. This is you tucking, gripping, tucking your core and actually not stabilizing it. Now reverse, lengthen your tailbone away so your back is actively overarching. And this, you've overshot the mark. You've arched too far. You're not in your center anymore. You've surpassed it, and now you're being pulled out of your center. So tuck one more time. Tucking and tilting helps you find your center. And then reverse, lengthen your tailbone away. So you'll feel your back sort of excessively arching. And then find what I call the Goldilocks of it. You know, find the perfect, not too tucked, not too arched, but just right. And that's you while sitting up, essentially rooting your sits bones, okay? So you're rooted there. Crown of the head is lengthening. And then brace your abdominals as you float the right knee. The thigh will lift, the foot will lift, and just see if you can lift that leg without the core moving. Good. And I usually teach the knee at 90 degrees, but today let the knee bend completely. Let the foot just hang. Dead weight. Yes. And then let your thigh lower, foot back to the floor. Okay, let's do the left side. Float that leg, that thigh up. Can you move that leg without the spine changing shape? Can you hold yourself? Can you hold center? Lower that leg back down. So if you have a towel under your low back, go ahead and move it and replace it with your own hand. So if you need a visual here, you're gonna have one hand under your low back and the other hand right on top of your abdominals. We do this to find our centers again, okay? So as you exhale, engage your abs without moving your spine. You found your center. Now float that right knee up or float that right thigh up again. And notice with your hands, did your spine or core change shape? You don't want it to. Hold your core, hold your center. Now that right knee, keep it up there and let it float out to the right side and see if you can hold on to your center. And then exhale, pull back. The goal here is to move the leg only as much as the core stays stable. So the knee floats out to the side. You might notice your left knee flailing out to try and keep you balanced. Pull that right knee back to center. See if you can just hold your center with your core muscles. 2 more. Float that knee out to the side. Breathing out will help you find your center a little more. Inhaling as you drag the knee back in. And one more time, float the knee out, even if you just use this as an awareness. Wow, I really get pulled out of my center when my leg gets pulled to the side, right? Float that knee back in. Just become aware of your body. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. Lower the leg down and release, and switch which hand is underneath. Good. Engage, lengthen your crown. Notice if any tension crept into your jawline or your shoulders and let that go. And then as you exhale, float the left knee. Good. Try to let the knee just bend, Brittany. Let the quad on the left side go. There you go. All right, ladies, here we go. The knee floats out to the side. This might feel like a totally different body. Exhale, pull back to center. And the knee goes out to the side. And exhale, deepen your core and come back to center, right? So the knee is moving. Now as the knee moves, something else might be happening. Your mind might be connected. You might be distracted by something going on. Just see if that happens. Bring yourself back to your center, right? Pilates is meditation and movement. Exhale, pull the knee back to center. One final time. And honestly, anything you do is meditation and movement if you're trying to focus on what you're doing. Exhale, pull back to center. Lower the leg down and release completely. Beautiful. Straighten both legs out, arms long by your side. And just stretch the arms behind you for a moment. Inhale deep into the belly. And exhale, let everything go. Arms long by your side. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna bridge now. Bend your knees, feet flat. If you prefer a lot of flow in your workouts, this would be used to find the basics, and then you could jump into one of the other Pilates videos. But this is absolutely essential, this slower, more focused movement to do things right and get the most benefit out of it, okay? So bringing your mind into your body, press your head gently back. And as you exhale, press your hips up to the ceiling. Now take a moment there to bring awareness to your low back. And as you exhale, gently invite the navel towards the spine. Right? You're still bridging, but the navel's pulling in. Nice. Now think of your feet and feel like roots are growing from each toe into the floor. So a big toe root, second toe root, each toe, including the pinkies, have roots into the floor. Right? This is you grounding through your foot. Now your heel, your entire heel, not just the point, but the entire heel, roots into the floor. that crown that you had on your head, it's not on your forehead, it's on the top of your head like a tiara, like a well-earned mom tiara, is lengthening back to the wall behind you. And your kneecaps are rooting to the wall away from you. Brittany, in your case, your kneecaps are rooting towards me. Now, as you inhale, feel your ribs expand to the sides and the back. And then as you exhale, float the arms to the ceiling and roll your spine down one bone at a time. This is moving the spine. This is changing the shape of your center per se for release, to allow you to release any tension that's held in the wrong spots. Press your arms down by your side. Inhale and lift your hips again. Now take a moment. Rhea, the lowest pair of ribs want to lead the way, and I want you to think of leading the way with your sits bones to the ceiling. Yeah. And then gently melting that lowest pair of ribs towards the floor without dropping. Yeah, there you go. And you got it, Gabby. Let those fingertips lengthen towards your heels. Feel your throat lengthen, everyone. Brittany, hug the left knee in slightly towards your midline, right? And take a moment, ladies, to root all 10 toes. The whole pad of your heel roots into the floor like one big tree trunk. Beautiful. Rachel, bring the arms a little closer to your body and feel your collarbones widen. And take a big inhale into the back of your heart. And as you exhale, float the arms up to the ceiling and roll down one vertebra at a time, like you're releasing stress at each point. Stress you didn't even know you had. Who knew it was in there? One final time, the arms gently press down. Hips, sits bones, press to the ceiling. Kneecaps magnetize in opposition to the crown, right? And Rachel, you too, you can gently melt that lowest pair of ribs down towards the floor as your sits bones stay up towards the ceiling. Yeah, and that truly opens the hips rather than just overarching in the low back. It's a very different feeling. Rooting all 10 toes. Brittany, think of rooting the inside of your left heel a little more. Yeah. And Brittany, root the outside of your right heel a little more. Good. Then float those arms to the ceiling, ladies, as you inhale, and then a beautiful exhale. And by beautiful, I mean deep and releasing, and lower down one bone at a time, that whole spine being introduced to itself. And release. We are almost done, ladies. Gracefully bring yourself up onto your side. For what is known in the gym as a side plank, what I want you to think about it as is a side bridge. So you're going to bring yourself up onto your forearm and your knees are stacked. Okay? Beautiful. So now the side body. We've started to find our center. Can you hold your center now through the sides? I want you to press your forearms down into the floor and lift your hips up. Yeah. Now, yeah, so you have a couple people in the video demonstrating from the feet. If you want, you can bend the knees. This is a little less, lifting less, but it also stretches the hips differently. So holding your posture, whether you're straight-legged or you're bent, and take a moment there so I can demonstrate what you're technically doing, right? You're bridging your body from front to back while supporting from the sides, okay? Now, whether the knees are bent or the legs are straight, I want you to reach this arm to the ceiling. Take an inhale as you stretch, opening your side body. And as you exhale, lower your hips back down, okay? And again, breathe, lifting up and over. So these breath exercises are meant for you to kind of release some stress. And then lower your hips, the arm floats down all the way. One more time, stretch up and over. Now that you've released, let's try and put the work back in where it belongs. Hold your center here and reach your arm up to the ceiling. We're here. Now take this hand, wrap it underneath your ribs underneath. Hold the plank and inhale into your hand. Exhale, deepening your center, your sense of centering. Two more. Inhale into that hand as best you can. See if you can breathe, if you can move where you're supposed to. Exhale, deepen. You're holding your center, but inhaling around it. Exhale, deepen the abs. Brittany, push your hips forward just a tad more. There you go. And then everybody lower down and release completely. Gorgeous work. Gracefully move to the other side. I always throw in the word gracefully for kicks and giggles, right? Like, it's our goal. Does it happen? We hope so. Grace is a special thing, especially in motherhood, I feel so. Tough to do often. On that forearm, now from the knees, go ahead and lift yourself up. If you feel comfortable, you can go from the feet, knowing that that's a little harder, okay? And we start with our breath. Reach the arm to the ceiling, stretch up and over, taking a big inhale as you stretch. And then a nice exhale as you lower your hips back down. Right? And again, so you're technically moving your core, you're moving your spine, using your breath to create space. Exhale, lower the arm down. And one more time, stretch up and over. And then reach that right arm up to the ceiling, or left arm, depending on which side you're on, right? Hold yourself up, and then bring that top hand down so it goes to the underside of your ribs. Now find your long line, right? Crown of the head in opposition to the sits bones. Hold it if you can, and now inhale into that bottom half of your ribs. Expanding, and then exhale, deepening the connection through your core. 2 more. So you can keep your hand there, Brittany, and keep your head in line with your spine. Exhale, shrink wrapping the core as you deepen your center. 1 more breath. Inhale into that hand. And exhale, deepen everything. Lower the hips, lower your spine, and sit back on your heels for a child's pose stretch. Good. Okay, so we found our centers in every which way, and now we're going to challenge by getting into our hands and knees position. And again, there's nothing new here that you haven't seen in other exercises, right? This is called quad, or, bird dog, or I don't know, it's got a bunch of different names. But again, this workout is all the fundamentals of all the movements you ever do. So this exercise is our grand finale because it challenges your core from the top and the bottom, okay? So you start with the hands underneath the shoulders and find your sitting cues. Root your sits bones to the back wall. That tiara, that crown is lengthening away from your sits bones. And then you engage all the muscles in your center to support your core. Okay, now let's see if we can hold on to the core. Extend your right leg back, toes to the floor to start. Like you're getting a calf stretch. So Brittany, go ahead and put your toes on the floor if there's space there. There you go. And Rachel, same thing. If you have room in that room, toes to the floor and give yourself a calf stretch, right? Good, Gabby. Now press that heel back, stretch. Your sits bones root to that right heel. Lengthen your left arm up off the floor. Notice what shifts. Did you get thrown at all off your center? Hold. Keep rooting your sits bones to the back heel, crown of the head lengthening away, and then shrink wrap your center. Now see if you can float that right leg just up off the floor, using the muscles in your back body. And then lower that foot and that arm down, and we're going to lift 1 more time on that side. Float right back up. Can you hold on to your center? What you'll see if you watch yourself in this video after today is that sometimes the spine gives way when this movement happens. Lower the hand, lower the leg, release. And what we're trying to do is hold that center steady. So bring that into your focus this round. Send the left leg back, toes to the floor, and stretch through that calf. Good. Yeah, find it first. Now imagine bracing your spine. Nothing in life is going to take you away from your center, not even lifting the arm, yeah? So engage the abs, float the arm up. It'll be the opposite arm, so your right arm. And Gabby, hold there. We're going to create true length in your body. Put your left foot down on the floor to start. Now press that heel back like you're stretching your calf. Now imagine my fist right underneath your navel. Deepen. Beautiful. Now everyone in the room, lengthen the back of your neck and then float that left leg off the floor. Brittany, drop your head just a little. Imagine a fist under your lowest pair of ribs and pull up to support your bridge. 2, good. Rhea, do the same thing. Imagine my fist under your navel. 2, holding your center. Rachel, same thing, fist under your abs. Lower the arm, lower the leg, and then float right back up that same side. Arm and leg move, core does not. Right. So right there, Rachel, drop your chin a little. Pull the ribs up towards the ceiling. And then lower the leg, lower the arm, sit back on your heels and stretch, child's pose. If you're at home and a kid jumps on your leg or your arm while you're doing that, that's like just adding a 30-pound dumbbell to your workout. You know what I mean? So all the more important to hold on to your core if that happens. All right, we're gonna finish it by standing. So you can adjust your camera or know that I can see at least your feet will be good. All right. So now pulling everything together. Here we are standing. We take this work and we bring it into our everyday life. I want you to have your feet right underneath your hips. Okay, good. Arms long by your side. Okay. So start by rooting the sits bones, those bones that are, at the base of your pelvis. They root to the floor, all the way down. The crown of the head, the whole circle just kind of inflates up towards the ceiling. Root all 10 toes and the entire pad of your heel anchors. Hold your center, deepen the abs and float those arms out in front of you. Good. As you press your arms down, raise up onto the toes. Heels lift, abs deepen, pulling from your center. Head stays inflated to the ceiling as you draw your heels back to the earth. Arms float up. Good. 2 more. Press the arms down, deepen the abs as you float. So all 10 toes root, crown of the head to the sky, and your center is like shrink wrapped or tornadoed around your spine. Float the arms up as your heels get drawn back to the earth. One final time. Press the arms down, deepen your abs and float. Crown of the head to the ceiling. Beautiful. Now hold your length, ladies. Keep your crown to the sky. Root your heels to the floor while holding onto your center. And take that with you as you go throughout your day. Thank you, ladies. I'm gonna pause here real quick. Okay, so there you have it. Second, part 2, Mother's Day workout. A big thank you to Brittany, Rachel, Gabby, and Rhea for showing up to do class with me. They were so gracious and volunteering their time because a lot of the workouts we've done so far on this little YouTube channel have been just me. And honestly, it's kind of hard to teach and do at the same time and really be effective at that. So I wanted you all to see different bodies in motion and sometimes how cues affect movement. It also helps me remember what cues to use for you at home when I can't see you. So my big shout out here is to you moms out there just doing an amazing job. Happy Mother's Day. Shout out to those moms who just joined me for class. Happy Mother's Day. I'm so grateful for all of you. And the world is grateful for all of you for raising such great humans. I said that in the last video, but I really mean it. So thank you so much. I hope you all have wonderful Mother's Days, and please do not hesitate to email me if you have any questions about the workout and whatnot. One final little plug here is in regards to donations. Some of you have asked to donate, and honestly, I love doing these videos for you. I love knowing people are doing Pilates, but if you feel so inclined to donate, I am having any donations go to Pisgah Collective, which is my kids' school that is currently on pause, as all schools are. But yeah, any and all donations, I would love for the school to benefit, as they need it. And my kids need that school. So in a sense, you're donating to me anyways. But that's about it. I love all of you. Happy Mother's Day weekend. Enjoy your workouts and enjoy your family time. And I will see you next Monday for next week's workout. Take care.